a Mother's Day in Miami. Gorgeous weather, and an afternoon of baseball awaits for the Florida Marlins and the Washington Nationals, and it's the Nationals who have taken the first two of this three-game series. Major League Baseball celebrates Mother's Day. You've got logos on the bases, pink shoes, wristbands, pink tape, and of course the ever-popular pink bats will be out in force celebrating Mother's Day here as the Marlins and the Nationals go at it. Hi everybody, Rich Waltz, Tommy Hutton, happy Mother's Day. Now you can look at it this way. The Marlins have lost their last three games and they haven't hit a lick. But moms out there would say, yes dear, but the Marlins have the second best record in the National League still. How do you look at it, Tommy Hutton?
Rich, moms always have a way of looking at things with the glass half full. So that's right, the second best record in the National League. You look at it this way, they've not played well, they've not hit well in this series. They have to do a better job of doing those little things because right now in this series the Nationals have outplayed them.
You have to give the Nationals some credit, not only their starting pitchers, Jordan Zimmerman and Tom Gorzelani, but the bullpen in this series and this year against the Marlins for the Nationals has been outstanding.
You and I have talked about it. We talked about it the first time the Nationals were in town, how their bullpen has been so successful. They have guys like Tyler Clippard. He's gone 21 innings this year. He has 27 strikeouts. Struck out 6, faced 6 the other night. How about Drew Storn? He's got nasty stuff. Young closer. Sean Burnett got a save. He has 4 saves. Storn has 7. So they kind of mix and match with those two young arms out of their bullpen. They have been tremendously successful against the Marlins this year.
3 of the last 4 Mother's Days, it's been the Marlins against the Nationals. In fact, last year on Mother's Day, not only was it Marlins-Nationals, it was Anibal Sanchez against Livan Hernandez, and they meet again today.
This is becoming an annual matchup. How about Anibal Sanchez and Livan Hernandez? Anibal has to do a lot better than he did in his last outing in Cincinnati. He walked 6 in his 4 1/3 innings and threw over 100 pitches. However, he has had success against the Nationals, 5-0 in his career. Livan Hernandez, I think my partner said 79 starts or something against the Marlins. It's really only 33, but he has pitched very well this year, off to a 3-3 start, and he's won 13 career games against his former team, the Fish.
So it's a Mother's Day, and it's baseball. We're glad you're with us as the Fish and the Nationals finish off the 3-game series. A little baseball love, a little baseball knowledge on a Kids Sunday from Jeff Conine. Coming up here on Fox Sports Florida. For an afternoon of baseball, lunch is served. Let's start our day out in left field. Allison Williams, Jeff Conine.
Thank you, Rich. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms watching at home, and hopefully they're watching with their kids, as it is a Kids Sunday, and that means, Niner, you can break down and teach us a few things about the game of baseball.
Yeah, it's always a good time on Sunday to talk to the little people and hopefully build some knowledge about the basics and the foundation of playing correct baseball. So we're going to show you some outfield play from the last couple nights, that stuff that you can work on at home. You see the first illustration we have here is a ball that's going off the wall here in Sun Life Stadium. Both outfielders are breaking toward this ball when, in fact, one should back up the other because it's kind of unique in this stadium. It's a hard wall and a very rubberized surface there on the track. You're going to see it often takes a huge bounce right there. So you've got one guy going out there to play the carom. The other guy should be backing him up because of just what happened right here. You see Emilio Bonifacio has to take a long route to go back in to get that ball. Mike Stanton, let's an illustration on a freeze play right here. See him get his body turned. He's reading the ball going into the gap or over his head. Gets a great break on it. Takes a nice straight route back to the ball and makes a fine running catch. Here's a heads-up play last night by Jason Worth over in right field. Mike Stanton at the plate. See him take a big swing right here. Mike Stanton pauses a little bit. He thinks it might be a foul ball. Jason Worth comes up. He kind of glances. He knows he's got no shot at the runner at third base. He quickly glances to second base. He right here is eyeing his options. And he sees that Mike Stanton's getting a little too far. Adam LaRoche comes in behind him. Really good heads-up play right there. That was a very big out in that game. And that's the little things right there, kids, that will increase your defensive outs during a game and get your field back in for offense.
A good heads-up play by Jason Worth, but doesn't some of that responsibility rest also on Mike Stanton for not being more aware of where Worth is and so forth?
And on the flip side, as a runner, kids, when you're running and the ball is in front of you, you got to be able to make your own decisions. So he's coming in there a little too hard. He knows that I think he should have been a little bit better out of the box and gone right to second base. Be an aggressive play and go all the way to second base. I think he would have made it.
The same thing, agreeing with you post-game. That's Niners Knowledge for this Kids Sunday, a Mother's Day Sunday at the ballpark. It's a series finale between the Nationals and the Marlins. Marlins trying to avoid the sweep. When we come back, Rich and Tommy will have the call.
Marlins baseball is brought to you by Toyota, moving forward, by AT&T, and today by Checkers, little place, big taste. Miami on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon as the Marlins and the Nationals get ready to go. Come on into the ballpark. Nationals, of course, have taken the first 2 games of this series. Roger Bernardina stands in. The sun drenching the fans who have arrived here on a Mother's Day. Bernardina 2 for 4 last night, and Sanchez throws a strike. Lance Barksdale behind home plate. Bernardina, Ian Desmond, and Lance Nix for the Nationals, with Jason Worth getting the day off for Washington. Bernardina fouls it off, and it's 0-2.
Just called up from AAA, so Bernardina off to a good start. Played 134 games last year for Jim Riggleman. I think in watching Anibal Sanchez, Rich, the key is to see how the fastball moves and if it stays in the strike zone.
That would be a lot of movement, and that would be a strike. Bernardina goes down swinging. Here's the Nationals lineup. Remember, Ryan Zimmerman is on the DL, and Worth is getting the day off. You've seen Bernardina. Now meet Ian Desmond. Lance Nix is in right field. Adam LaRoche, a big hit last night. Michael Morse, the local product, is in left field. Jerry Hairston Jr.'s been outstanding in this series. Pudge back behind the plate. Danny Espinoza, the rookie second baseman, and Levon. Levon likes Miami.
You know, the batting averages, as you looked at that lineup, don't blow you away, but the Nationals have gotten some key hits in this series. There are the numbers on Anibal Sanchez. Coming up off that start against the Cardinals in St. Louis, 6 walks in his 4 1/3 innings. Really had trouble in the strike zone.
Desmond, a couple hits in the series, and is 4 for 14 against Sanchez, and that's another subplot in this ball game, and that is Sanchez against the Nationals. Sanchez against the Nationals has been terrific. This is his 15th start against this franchise, and he has yet to lose a start.
He's had a lot of no decisions, but 5-0. Look at that, and a 2.34 ERA. Nice pitch after that slow curveball, 70-mile-an-hour curveball, and he came back with a good moving fastball that just missed.
Sanchez looked like a slider, strikes out Desmond.
He's actually gotten Bernardina and Desmond with sliders. They'd have been up a little bit, but his ball moves so much, he has to be, when he's in the zone, he has to be really tough to pick up as a hitter. There's the defense. Bonnie and Coughlin and Stanton keep the glasses out there. A lot of sunshine today. Dobbs and Hanley, Omar and Gabby, and John Buck behind the plate.
Now Nix. Stocky, sturdy left-handed hitter. Sanchez pours across the strike. Nix 1 for 9 in this series. His one hit was a big one. It was a double in the 10th inning in Game 1 on Friday night. He ended up scoring the winning run. Nationals won that in extras. That didn't miss by much. And of course, last night a 5-2 win in what was a 2-2 ball game most of the way.
You mentioned Worth with the day off. Worth just 2 for 22 in his career against Anibal Sanchez. Kind of interesting, 1 for 22 going into the game last night against Chris Volstad. So a couple of guys that over the last few years have given Worth trouble.
Helped himself against Volstad. He was 1 for 2 against him last night. Sanchez misses in. Nix has a look at Voley. Nix is almost impossible to walk. In fact, no one has walked him this year. 59 at bats, 19 punch outs. He has not walked. He went after a pitch that was probably ball 3, and Infante kicks it for his first error of the season.
Well, you knew eventually that Omar Infante would make an error. It's almost impossible to go the whole year without one. I don't want to say routine. He had time. Nix doesn't run that well, but just couldn't find the handle.
Now Adam LaRoche, 2 for 7 in this series. He's driven in 3 runs. His 2-run single in the first inning was part of that early rally. Infante gets a chance to redeem himself.
That's
and
good feeling.
He does.
Hey, you want to get that ball the next one, and he was able to get it.
Scoreless. See, there's a mom on Mother's Day, making sure everybody's comfortable and straight and ready to go. Marlins lineup, there's a tweak in it. You see it at the top. Emilio Bonifacio's leading off, and Chris Coughlin will hit second. Hanley in the 3 spot. Gabby Sanchez hits cleanup. Mike Stanton 5th. Greg Dobbs is at 3rd base. John Buck slides down to the 7th position. Omar Infante hitting 8th. And Anibal Sanchez hits 9th against Livan Hernandez. All decked out with his red glove, ready to go. And he misses outside. It can be a nibble fest when Livan is on the mound. Guys like Bonifacio have to be very disciplined at the plate.
And then you have to be ready for the few mistakes that he makes and hope that you make good contact on those mistakes.
Fastball out and a fastball down the middle for Hernandez, who makes his 453rd career start. That is first among active players. Pudge just gave him about 5 signs, and he didn't like any of them.
Get 2 guys with all that experience, Pudge and Livan.
Bonifacio up the middle. Desmond races over and just makes the play.
That was a nice play by Ian Desmond. The Nationals defensively have made 23 errors, but according to Jim Riggleman, they are better than they were last year. Morse getting the start, Bernardina in center, Nix in right. So a little different alignment in the outfield. Harrison at 3rd, Desmond, Espinosa, and LaRoche around the infield, and Pudge behind the plate.
Just 1 error in their last 9 games, and very good defense in this series. Here is Coughlin. The move to get Bonifacio in the leadoff spot was twofold. One, to get a guy with a better on-base percentage up there. Number 2, maybe to get Chris Coughlin going at the plate. Coughlin 0 for his last 14. 7 of 12, though, against Livan Hernandez. Sends a liner towards left. Morse with a sore knee makes the catch. And you can see as he comes to a halt on that rubberized warning track, Mike Morse not moving well.
Yeah, you can see a little limp in his gait, especially when he tries to break it down right there. He was shading a little more toward the line. I really think if Nix were out there, Nix was there the last couple of nights, he doesn't make that play. Morse with longer strides, a little better outfielder, but bothered by that sore right knee.
Well, if there's a day that Hanley's going to break out of it, this is a good one. You see his season numbers, and just 1 for 8 in the series. He's had terrific success not only against the Nationals, we talked about that last night, but individually against Livan Hernandez. Off of Livan's glove, and he throws him out. 1, 2, 3. Livan goes through the fish. Here in the first, we're underway and we're scoreless.
Happy Mother's Day to all moms out there, especially my mama. You're the best. I love you, and thank you for raising me into the man that I am today.
A Mother's Day filled with baseball here in South Florida. Anibal Sanchez throws pitch number 1 by Michael Morse. Morse, Jerry Hairston, Ivan Rodriguez for the Nationals, who come in just a game under 500. Quickly, it's 0-2.
You and I were talking between innings, Rich. A lot of times early on, you really get a good read on Anibal Sanchez. And right now, it's a good read. Nasty.
3 of his 4 outs have been strikeouts. So Sanchez off to a good start. All year cooling brings us the weather, 88 degrees. Hardly cloudy and warm right now. Here comes Hairston. Now this is the true test for Sanchez, is getting Hairston out, because Marlin pitchers have struggled. It's 5 for 7 with 3 doubles in the first 2 games of the series.
And you go back one more game, he's 6 for his last 11. It kind of gives you an idea where he was, though, because even with that, he's at 231, his batting average.
He's been very valuable to Jim Riggleman, because with the injury to Zimmerman at third, with Morse's injury out in left field, Hairston is a guy that has played every position in the major leagues except pitcher and catcher. Didn't miss by much. 94 miles an hour. Good crisp fastball.
He's the Bonifacio and a Meziga of baseball. Alfredo had a couple of hits last night for the Rockies.
1-1 breaking ball is fouled off, and it's 1-2. Talking to John Buck about the last start by Sanchez, and it was in St. Louis. He went only 4 1/3. He said, but Buck felt Sanchez threw the ball well. John said he had a lot of movement on his pitches in St. Louis. Sometimes that can be hard on a catcher, and sometimes it can even be hard on an umpire, too.
Yeah, I would say, if you talk to John Buck, he would say Anibal Sanchez could be the toughest of the 5 starters to catch because of the movement he gets.
2-2 coming. Oh. Already with 4 strikeouts. And here comes Ivan Rodriguez.
Well, and remember, that's not the whole formula. The Marlins struck out 17 Nationals the other night and lost. But this is just great stuff to start this game from Anibal Sanchez. Foxmo gives you a good look. Hairston couldn't get it.
Pudge is going with the pink shoes, the pink bat, and the high socks. So he's got it all going on. Second start of this series. Wilson Ramos got the start in yesterday's ball game. Ramos was 0 for 4, but Ramos is one of the better offensive catchers right now in the National League. He's having a very nice year with the bat. Hitting .319 with a couple homers and 7 driven in. So combined, you've got 3 homers and 17 RBIs out of the catcher spot. And Pudge and Ramos have combined to lead the National League in throwing out base stealers. They've combined to throw out 38% of all base stealers.
Yeah, the Marlins have 5 home runs and 22 RBIs out of their catchers in John Buck and Brett Hayes.
I think both managers will be happy with that type of production throughout the year.
Of course, John has played a good share of the games, making his 29th start today.
1-2. Off the plate, and it's 2-2. Pudge is 2 for 8 against Anibal Sanchez in his career. Just got a piece of a live fastball.
We've seen live fastballs 93, 95. Anibal has touched a couple of times.
Of course, Sanchez on April 22nd, a one-hitter against the Rockies. That one hit from Dexter Fowler came with nobody out in the 9th inning. There's a liner down the right field line. Foul ball. Your Fox Tracks shows you how the Marlins have worked Pudge up. Two. Yeah, got him. Anibal Sanchez with 5 strikeouts through just 2 innings here on Mother's Day. Strikeouts. Watch this strikeout of Pudge, who wasn't real happy with the call, but watch where it is.
Yeah, it's that high strike that you don't see. We saw Wes Helms called on a high strike the other night. You don't see it called too often. But remember, Pudge fouled off a couple of pitches that were up in that area. And that's exactly where Anibal worked him the entire at-bat.
Gabby Sanchez, a changeup. And he takes it for a strike. Mike Stanton, Greg Dobbs will follow against Livan Hernandez. A couple of ground outs and a line drive out for Hernandez. Big lollipop curveball. All arm angles, all speeds, all different types of spins. He has just about every pitch you can imagine.
Pitched against the Marlins early April. Got a no decision. The Marlins won that game, though, 7-4. It's always fun to make up the scouting report. Slow and slower. He'll do that. Good hitter. Watch out when he's at the plate. And Livan Hernandez, all these years, he's never been on the disabled list.
Oh-2 coming. And misses outside. We told you that among active pitchers, 453 is number 1 on the list. Tim Wakefield at 442 is second. Javier Vasquez at 417 is third among active pitchers in terms of starts. Complete games, he is second among active pitchers with 49 complete games. The leader, Roy Halladay, 60. Of course, one guy who's been bounced off of that list that may get back on that list next year if he does come back from Tommy John surgery is noted Marlin killer Jamie Moyer. Gabby hooks one left field and deep and bounces off the wall. 7th double for Gabby Sanchez. It had a really strange sound coming off the bat.
You know, he reached for a slow breaking ball, There's the pitch. Hit it with his arms, and it just kind of flicked it out there. It didn't have home run distance, but it's our checkers double of the game. Stayed in the ballpark, bounced up high for Morse to bring it back in, but a good start for Gabby and the Marlins here in the second.
Gabby's wearing the pink shoes. Mike Stanton's got the pink sleeve going. And, of course, the pink bat. Many of those bats will be auctioned off on MLB.com for charity. Of course, there are some hitters that'll have a big Mother's Day and want to keep using that pink bat for another couple days. You hit a couple home runs with a pink bat. Come Monday, man, you want to be at the plate with that same bat.
You're going to bring that thing out again.
Leadoff double. Let's see if the Marlins can cash in. Now, Stanton has just 2 at-bats against Livan Hernandez. 1 hit, but that hit is a home run.
Stanton going with the D. Wade sleeve.
A 1-for-7 series. Chopper over the middle. Espinosa cuts it off. Long throw, and there's that shortstop arm that Espinosa has. A nice play. Gabby does move over, so that brings Dobbs up in an RBI spot. Fan balloting underway for the 2011 Major League Baseball All-Star Game, and you can help the Marlins get there. Vote the maximum 25 times online at Marlins.com. And if you do, you'll get a pair of tickets to a future Marlins game. You can also vote at the stadium for a chance to win a trip to the All-Star Game. That guy right there, Gabby Sanchez, deserves some votes. Obviously, first base is one of the toughest positions in which to make the All-Star team. Here's Dobbs. Livan misses outside. Now the left side of the infield. The shortstop Ian Desmond and the third baseman Jerry Hairston. You can see how shallow they are, but if you swing over to the right side, those guys are deep. So any ball on the ground to the right side should score the run.
And this is one of those alignments that when you step in to hit, you have to notice.
Dobbs takes down low. Here's a funny thing about Dobbs. He's been in this division now for what, 5 years? He's 1 for 3 in his career against Livan Hernandez, which tells you that when he comes in as a pinch hitter, Livan's no longer in the game.
Yeah, it's amazing. I did the same. I figured he'd have a lot of matchups against Livan.
Well, Livan is the type of guy, if you're platooning with a righty and a lefty, he's the type of guy where sometimes you'll let the righty get a start against him because he's not overpowering. He doesn't have that devastating hook. Just watching Pudge run through the choices is entertaining.
Notice how they're trying to stay away because you got an experienced battery, and they know that Dobbs is thinking about trying to pull a ground ball because if he does, the Marlins will get a run in. So the last 2 pitches, they've stayed away.
Leadoff double. Gabby Sanchez moved up on the Stanton ground ball. Dobbs waiting on a 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball, he fouls it off, and so now it's 3-2. Now this is, you got to be ready for anything, but this is where Livan is so smart. He stayed away. I wouldn't put it past him to try on this 3-2 pitch, sneak a fastball on the inner part of the plate to Greg Dobbs. But as a hitter, you have to be alive for anything. That's what Pudge wants. Look at he's going right back there inside. Dobbs was ready for it. It's a fair ball.
Nice job.
Around first on his way to second. Nix picks it up. And Greg Dobbs with a terrific at bat. An RBI double. And the Marlins have the lead.
Here's what you had. You have a veteran battery, Pudge and Levant, but you also have a veteran hitter in Greg Dobbs. So all that stuff away, he said, okay, I'm going to sneak a fastball in on his hands. And Dobbs was ready for it, hit it well, and got it past LaRoche. That's nice hitting.
Here's John Buck now. Buck drilled a 2-run homer last night. Sends that one down the right field line. It's twisting, foul. Just foul. Would have scored Dobbs easily. Buck's homer was in the second inning against Tom Gorzolani. And it's the first homer that he's hit to left field this year. His first 3 homers have been to right field. That one to deep left center.
Of all the hitters right now, John Buck has probably been the hottest of the Marlin hitters.
Levon runs that fastball inside. Of course, his year, big year in Miami, 1997. He made only 17 starts that year.
They started the year in Double-A. And then came up and went 9-3 in those 17 starts.
And of course, he was a postseason hero, but in the division series against the Giants, he didn't start a game. And it wasn't until his second appearance of the NLCS against the Braves that he actually started. He won Game 3 in relief, and then his first postseason start was that 15 strikeout game against the Braves. That was in Game 5. Buck goes after the breaking ball. That, of course, was known as the Eric Gregg game, where the strike zone was big, but Brave fans have to remember that the master of expanding the strike zone was also pitching for the Braves. Greg Maddux struck out 9 that day.
Yeah, the master of expansion.
Dobbs at second, 2-2 coming. And it misses outside. He would obviously shine in the World Series as well. He won Game 1, and he won Game 5. Infante is on deck.
And was the MVP of the World Series as well. Many thought Moises Alou could have been.
I think one of the things that helped him is both of his wins in the World Series was against the Indians ace, Orel Hershiser. 3-2. Buck stays alive.
We're talking about John Buck and what he's done lately. Look at that, last 8 games. A couple of doubles, 3 home runs. You see 2 out of 3 with runners in scoring position. Greg Dobbs now is 6 for 13 with runners in scoring position with his double, his last AB there.
Missed. You could see Pudge pounding his glove on the inside part of the plate, trying to get Buck to think they were going in, and at the last minute he shifted out.
Little decoy from the veteran.
And it missed. Look at it. Pitch 7 was that last pitch. Here's Infante. Omar, ground ball, diving stop. LaRoche on his knees gets it out there. He is a very, very good first baseman. One of our favorite things to do on weekday mornings at 9 o'clock Pop on the Dan Patrick Show. A variety of guests. You never know who's coming by. Weekdays 9 a.m. on FSN.
Usually on about my second cup of coffee then. That was a terrific play. That ball had right field written all over it that Infante hit. But as you mentioned, Adam LaRoche, a Gold Glove first baseman, even though he's never won one. But he plays that kind of first base.
Sanchez, fly ball right field towards the line. And that's foul.
Boy, in contrast, Livan Hernandez threw 6 pitches in the first inning. He's thrown 24 so far here in the second. And his pace is slowed down, too.
We've seen the security guy have to get out of the way a couple times.
He's making sure he really got out of the way there.
Sanchez hits it well. Espinoza plays a tricky hop and gets the out. But the Marlins are on the board. Doubles by Gabby Sanchez and Greg Dobbs. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. 1-0. Marlins on top in the third. Let's check in with Allison Williams.
Thank you, Rich. For the past 7 years now, Major League Baseball has celebrated Mother's Day with the players using pink bats, and it's all part of their partnership with Susan G. Komen for the Cure to raise money and awareness for breast cancer. It's a nice Mother's Day tradition. You can see the players are also wearing the pink wristbands, and all the bases have the Mother's Day plate on them as well. And in addition to this, in 2009, Major League Baseball added the honorary Batgirl contest, and there's one winner for each of the 30 clubs in Major League Baseball. And it's someone that has demonstrated an initiative to fight the breast cancer disease and also that has been affected by it. So fans submit their testimonials and then celebrity judges vote, as well as fans vote for who should be each team's honorary Batgirl. And we'll have a chance to talk with our own a little bit later. And it's a neat honor for people that have been affected by breast cancer because they get to come out and participate in some pregame activities. And it's all part of the initiative between Major League Baseball and Susan G. Komen for a Cure. In addition, baseball has donated $50,000 for cancer research, and you can help out by going online and purchasing one of the pink bats, or wait and actually bid on one of the game-used pink bats as well to help raise money.
It's always one of our favorite days of the year, the Mother's Day pink bats. Livan Hernandez bunts that one foul. Livan, followed by Roger Bernardina, and then Ian Desmond as your career sacrifice leaders, right behind Juan Pierre.
Yeah, thing about Livan, you can charge, but you might not charge as hard as you would with other pitchers because he's also proficient in bringing the bat back and trying to slap one through the infield.
Danny Espinosa hit by a pitch. Levon gets it down, first base side. And Gabby will tag him out. Levon will head for some shade. And with one out, Espinosa's in scoring position for Bernardina. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Marlins may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Fish. Baseball breaking out all over on Mother's Day. Dodgers and Mets are underway. Mets have an early run, a 1-0 lead in the second. Andre Ethier's hit streak snapped last night at 30.
He'll be trying to start another one.
The Braves and Phillies are the Sunday night game. Cole Hamels against Jair Jurgens.
Pretty good matchup. Jurgens has been on fire, and Hamels coming off a tremendous start.
Phillies are now 22-10. Knee-high fastball to Bernardina. He struck out in the first. Sanchez struck out 5 hitters in the first 2 innings. Out in front, 1-2.
Yeah, and a breaking ball got away from him to Espinosa, and he hit it to start this inning off. So Espinosa reached, sacrificed to second.
That was a back foot slider that turned into a back leg slider. One and two. Marlins have lost 3 in a row and 5 of 6. That's the bad news. The good news, they still have the second best record in the National League, behind the Phillies.
Other teams, the Rockies have cooled down a little bit.
The Braves were red hot and were charging hard, but have run into Philadelphia.
Yeah, the Braves had their 6-game winning streak snapped last night.
The Mets are 3 under. These Nationals are just 1 under. In what has to be right now considered the best division in the National League. Breaking ball misses. We showed you in St. Louis 2-3 days ago, the National League East was about 14 games over against the Central and the West.
Well, you start looking at some struggling teams. Houston is 13-20. The Padres have won just 13 games. They've been shut out 8 times already.
Sanchez making good pitch after good pitch. Bernardina making him work. 7 pitches this at bat. 40 pitches total for Anibal Sanchez, who has authored 2 one-hitters and a no-hitter since that September no-hitter in 2006, and he's the only pitcher in baseball to have 3 complete games with 1 hit or less in that time frame. Broken back ground ball out to Infante at second. Omar makes the play. Espinosa occupies third now, and Sanchez will go after Ian Desmond.
Another good moving fastball, really jammed. Bernardina broke his bat. Notice, I just noticed it now, Bernardina, because he just got here, didn't have a pink bat. He hasn't been here long enough to have that pink bat order arrive. I think some of it's by choice and some of it is by bat company.
At the very start, Louisville Slugger was the first to do it, but now almost all the bat companies do it. That one fouled back to the screen. We had a feature on Marlins Live about how they get the bats pink. Just a little bit of pink paint there. They dip the bats in it. Very similar to how they finish the bat sometimes with a lacquer finish. 0-2 pitch. Again, they tried to get him to chase a high fastball. Adrian Johnson, the first base umpire. Here's some of that Louisville Slugger footage. Two. Breaking ball got him. 6 strikeouts for Sanchez through only 3. And the Marlins hanging on Mother's Day to a 1-0 lead.
Out there in California. Happy Mother's Day and I love you.
Tommy, if you haven't purchased a Mother's Day present yet, and fans out there will get you off the hook, here's how to do it. The fantasy auction is on May 19th. If you go to marlins.com/fantasy right now, you can buy tickets to the event. It gets you into the game with a box seat. It gets you all-you-can-eat gourmet dinner. And it also gets you on the set with a meet and greet with Jeff Conine and with a Marlins player. Photo opportunities there. You get to spend the auction with us. It's a great game, too. It's the Cubs on a Thursday night. So go to your computer, marlins.com/line drive center field. Actually, it's marlins.com/fantasy. The tickets are $80 for a single, $150 for a couple. So if you buy the ticket right now with your credit card online, just simply print out the page, marlins.com fantasy, put it in a nice card, and at dinner tonight, that's your Mother's Day present.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
How about Bonifacio getting on base again? Coughlin. A strike. Chris Coughlin lined to left on a nice running catch by Mike Morse. Joe Espada running through the signs. Coughlin taking a look at it. It's a little different dynamic for Coughlin here, Tommy, with a runner at first base and nobody out.
Yeah, it's it's something he has done before. Not as much as hitting leadoff. Now remember, in 03, a lot of times Juan Pierre and Luis Castillo would flip-flop, kind of dependent on who was hot, who was on a roll.
Bonifacio's hot right now. His on-base percentage is closing in on 400. And he's running. Coughlin is hitting. Rolls it out to the shortstop. Desmond goes to first in time. In fact, before the ball game, we were talking about Bonifacio and how well he's doing in getting on base. If you take a look at the Marlins on-base percentage leaders, it gives you a pretty good slice of who's having good years. It'll be nice to have Logan Morrison back in the lineup in the next 4 or 5 days. But Gabby Sanchez at 393. This is going into today. Bonifacio at 390, and both Gabby and Bonifacio have hits and have been on base. Look at Greg Dobbs at 377.
And a big double today.
It always makes the hitter that gave himself up in a hit and run feel better when the guy scores.
Yeah, and Cogs did a good job. He just got out fought by the infield. He stayed back, hit a ground ball to short, but shortstop Desmond didn't cover that time. A lot of times with a left-hander up, the shortstop will cover, but that time it was the second baseman, Espinosa.
0-1 pitch to Hanley.
So you're up there as a hitter. You'd love to know which one's covering, but there goes the second baseman. Shortstop stays put. Coughlin hits the ball right there. If the shortstop is covering, that's into left field for a base hit. And so shortstop, second baseman kind of mix that up every once in a while. And a lot of it depends on who the hitter is.
Hanley bounced back to the mound his first time up. I think he's the first player we've seen with the pink eye tape. I think you can't call it eye black, it's eye pink.
Well, because Hanley doesn't have the pink bat.
Just don't call it pink eye.
No, that's what Tony La Russa had, I think. That slow and slower curveball from Levon.
60 miles an hour. That was so slow, I don't think our radar gun picked it up because the stadium gun had it at 60.
The interesting thing, and looking back at Levon Hernandez, Gabby waits on deck. In 08, between Minnesota and the Rockies, Levon was 13 and 11. Since that time, though, he's gone just 22 and 27. I mean, he gives you innings, he'll keep you in games, and he's been healthy.
Hanley drives it left field, hits it deep. It is foul.
In Hanley's mind right now, and trust me, this is what goes through players' minds, he's saying, yep, I'm going bad right now. Why would that stay fair? Hasn't had a whole lot of luck. Now he's got to really regroup and get ready for this next pitch.
Hernandez wasn't real happy with that late call.
I believe that was because Hanley had something in his eye. It wasn't that Hanley asked for time. He may have asked, but he asked because he had something in his eye.
Fastball fouls it off. To your point about Hernandez, he's also, for the last couple of years, pitched for a team that hasn't scored many runs. If you go back to the 1st of July last year, up until this point, his ERA is under 3. It's a 2.90.
Well, as an example, he was 10 and 12 last year for this Nationals club, but had a 3.66 ERA. Yeah, he pitched well. 33 starts.
Hanley scorches that one, and out at second is Bonifacio. And that's the way it's going right now for Hanley. Just missed the homer and lines out. Tickets of America poll question on Mother's Day. A, take mom to a ball game. B, send mom flowers. C, send mom a box of candy. D, take mom to dinner. E, have mom cook dinner
It
for
should
you.
be the other way around. I mean, you should cook dinner for mom.
Yeah, but look at this. That's leading. That's 46%. That's just not right.
That's not right.
789-789. That's a bunch of guys on the couch right now watching baseball while mom is vacuuming.
and wanting some meatloaf.
That cry just came from the crack staff. Mom, the meatloaf. Lance Nix, Adam LaRoche, and Michael Morris against Anibal Sanchez.
Boy, we saw a very, very frustrated Hanley Ramirez after that line drive. Not only did he line out, but it turned out to be a double play as well.
There were two frustrated guys around home plate. Hanley, who slammed his helmet down, and Livan Hernandez. That's a swing on Nix's part. And Livan Hernandez, who had an animated conversation with home plate umpire Lance Barksdale.
It was about that late time call.
Jim Riggleman had to come out and separate the two. Nix reached on an Infante error his first time up.
Yeah, for the most part, we've seen Hanley hold things in check. He's made some terrific defensive plays, but things kind of boiled over after that line drive.
Good to see the at-bat, though, where he hit two balls very hard.
He did, and it's easy for us and for John Maley and everybody to tell him that. You know, you're there, you've hit the ball well, but it just doesn't sink in at this point.
And that's any hitter. That's not just him. 3-2. Gabby has it, and Nix is out. Adam LaRoche is coming up. Let's flip the phone, do a little trivia here. Who hit the Marlins' first pink bat Mother's Day home run? I'm going with Joe Borchard.
That was the name that came to mind.
I'm going with Joe Borchard because Joe was one of the guys that hit a home run.
And wanted to keep using the pink bat.
I think he did for another day or two. Or as Bob Shepard in New York, the late Yankee public address announcer, used to call him Joe Borchard.
Borchard.
LaRoche takes outside. Anibal Sanchez, in his 3 1/3 innings, has struck out 6. He's hit a batter. Strike to LaRoche, and it's 3-1.
Not sure if Joe Borchard is still playing. Last year, he was in the Pacific Coast League for Fresno. Hit 17 home runs at 263. But I don't know if he's playing this year.
Gabby gets over, takes it himself. So 2 ground ball outs to start the 4th. Log on to FoxSportsFlorida.com. Get the latest news and information surrounding your favorite Florida sports teams, including videos, exclusive analysis from the experts, and much more. Coverage you won't get anywhere else. FoxSportsFlorida.com. Log on now. Morse.
You were talking about last night, Rich, how Mike Morse made this ball club as an everyday left fielder by the tremendous spring. He hit 9 home runs at over 360 in the spring. That kind of cluttered things in their outfield. And now with Rick Ankiel going on the disabled list, Bernardina's back up, and Morse nursing that little sore knee, he's back in the lineup. First game he started this series.
Yeah, the shakeup sent Niger Morgan to the Brewers and sent Bernardina to the minor leagues. Morse in Philadelphia right before one of the games went into his manager's office and said, look, I've done something to my knee. It's sore. I can't go. But he's rested the first 2 games of this series and back in here. And Sanchez, a gorgeous pitch. It's 2-2.
And Niger Morgan, you mentioned, on the disabled list with the Brewers.
Yeah, he broke a finger on a bunt attempt. 2-2. Jerry Hairston waiting. And Billy's mom is here on Mother's Day. That's always a good sign.
Billy always takes care of his mom on Mother's Day, takes her to dinner. They never have seafood. Actually, I think Billy's mom might be a vegetarian. Not sure.
3-2. Off-speed pitch in the air to left. Bonifacio, glasses and hand shading the sun, and he makes the catch. 4 very good innings from Anibal Sanchez. Last at bat, and when you're slumping, stuff like this happens.
Just misses a home run. Then stings one, not only a line drive out, but it turns into a double play. And really, for the first time, I think we saw a little boiling point for Hanley Ramirez. upset with that turn of events and with the way the season's going.
Gabby Sanchez, Mike Stanton, Greg Dobbs against Livan Hernandez. Livan throws a strike to Gabby, who hooked a double off the end of his bat down the left field line. Against a creative pitch, Gabby had a creative swing. And he scored the only run when Greg Dobbs doubled. That one's punched into right center field. Hit well, and it's going to the wall. Gabby's got himself another double. Second of the game, 8th of the season.
Boy, Gabby stays consistent. Some nice swings today. Hooks the ball for one double, stays back, drives this one into right center. I think if Jason Worth is out there, it's probably caught. Lance Nix, not the swiftest of outfielders, but gets by him. So Gabby 2 for 2 with 2 doubles.
Cool. Mike Stanton now. Swing and a miss from Stanton, who hit a sharp grounder up the middle. Danny Espinoza made a tremendous play behind the bag. That followed Gabby's first double. It did put Gabby Sanchez in scoring position, and Greg Dobbs knocked him home with a double of his own.
Yeah, the Marlins have 4 hits off Livan, and 3 of them are doubles. Since that big home run against Eduardo Sanchez in St. Louis that put the Marlins ahead, the game winner, Mike Stanton is just 1 for his last 16. So he's hit a little downspin.
Breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
Boy, it's so tantalizing, and it's just hard to stay back on that soft, slow curveball.
Again, speed, the range. He'll hump the fastball up to 86, but that curveball at 59. Maybe a show-me fastball to back him off the plate.
Yeah, and then he tries to hump up inside to tie you up and try to jam you.
Came with the same pitch in the same spot.
I would be surprised 3-2 if he throws that 85-mile-an-hour fastball again.
Breaking ball, got the strikeout. When you're a 21-year-old, it's got to be tough at the plate trying to play mind games with Livan Hernandez.
You've seen in with the fastball a couple of times. He snaps off that breaking ball and just finds the inside corner. Kind of locks up Mike. He freezes, gives up on it, thinks it's going to be inside, and it catches that inside corner. Foxmo with a good look at that.
Good look at Livan Hernandez, first strikeout of the ball game. Here's Dobbs now. Dobbs matched wits with Livan in the second. Got a 3-2 fastball in the inside part, and he turned on it and doubled. We showed you earlier the top 5 Marlins in terms of on-base percentage, and Dobbs on that list. Over 380 now for an on-base percentage. He's hitting 339.
I don't know if this is one of those times. It could be because you have right-handers to follow, but Livan Hernandez has been, over the years, especially the last few years, without his best stuff, without the stuff he had 10 years ago. There are times when he'll just clearly pitch around a hitter. and not want to throw to a particular hitter.
Dobbs goes down and gulps it into center field. Here comes Gabby racing around third. And for the second time, Greg Dobbs has knocked in Gabby Sanchez.
And I think this was one of those times that Levon wanted to do that. He missed first 2 pitches, and then the pitch that Greg Dobbs hits, watch it. It's down. He golfs his pitch. Would have been a ball. Would have been ball 3. He expands the strike zone, goes right after it, picks up another base hit, and drives in another run. Another really good at bat.
Look where pitch 3 was. But Dobbs was on it. He identified the pitch. You can see him locked in. Buck now rolls over on one. Harrison, Espinoza, and a quick turn. The Marlins inning over just like that, but they combine again. Gabby Sanchez and Greg Dobbs, 2-0. Greg Dobbs has driven in both runs here on Mother's Day. In the 5th, we check in with Allison. Allison?
Thank you, Rich. I'm here with the Marlins honorary Batgirl, Allison Pages, and she submitted her entry. The fans voted, the celebrity judges voted, and it's easy to see why, because Allison has not only survived cancer herself, but it's Mother's Day, and you actually lost your mother to breast cancer as well. What's the impact that breast cancer has had on your life?
It's changed my life completely. I realized that anyone can be affected by breast cancer at any age. I was diagnosed at the age of 32. My mom passed away when she was 44, and anyone can be affected. And I just want to create awareness that everyone should be vigilant about breast cancer. And I'm hoping, and I thank organizations like Susan G. Komen, that a cure can be found very, very soon.
And you've done your part to help find a cure. Tell us about some of the involvement you've had for cancer research locally.
I have, since my mom passed away and the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure started, I started running every year, and I raise about $1,500 a year. And I also started the American Cancer Society Relay for Life local chapter in Coral Gables. And we raised that first year about $40,000. And it really means a lot to me. And I just work hard towards to raising lots of funds. So.
And 10 years cancer-free?
10 years cancer-free, and I'm proud of it.
Good for you, as you should be. And you're also not just a breast cancer survivor, an avid sports fan, an avid Marlins fan. You got to come out, throw the first pitch, take part in some pregame festivities. What was that like for you?
Oh, it was thrilling. I never thought that I would be throwing the first pitch, and I'm thrilled to be here, and I thank everyone for making this happen.
Well, it is an honor to be here and chatting with you, and we'll go back to the guys now. It's good to see the impact that this honorary Batgirl is having on lives. I know Allison here appreciates it, and it's really a great initiative between Major League Baseball and the Susan G. Komen for a Cure.
All right, Allison, thank you. It's a feel-good story for sure. Jerry Hairston is at the plate. Ivan Rodriguez, Danny Espinosa to follow. 2-2 pitch. And Anibal Sanchez has 7 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings. And he has his A game going today.
And Rich, I think it's a story that has in some way or another affected just about everyone's life.
Without a doubt.
So a great cause today.
Here's Pudge now. Called out on strikes in the second. Sanchez struck out 5 of his first 7 batters.
Remember, 4 1/3 innings in his last start in St. Louis was all he worked, and he threw 102 pitches. It's 6 walks. He's hit a batter today, but he's not walked a batter.
Of course, he had a 74-pitch outing against the Dodgers after his one-hitter. Threw 123 in his one-hitter. That was against the Rockies. 2-0 coming.
Not sure if that was a backup slider or he took a little bit off his fastball, but he got the strike on the foul ball.
One fastball, and he evens the count at 2-2. Pudge on Friday night with the Nationals winning his 1,200th win as a starting catcher, and right now 171 hits shy of 3,000.
Yeah, a couple of guys that he passed with those 1,200 wins. Carlton Fisk, Bob Boone. Fisk, of course, a Hall of Famer. Bob Boone, a Hall of Fame defensive catcher. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Didn't have the offensive numbers.
Sanchez a changeup. Goodness, is he on? That's 8 strikeouts already for Anibal Sanchez. Let's flip the phone and answer the trivia question. The booth is going with Joe Borchard. Oh, we're a year late.
Yeah, we both like Borchard in that one. How about the hammer? The hammer.
The hammer.
Hammer time with the pink bat.
Hammer actually has a bit part in the storyline of this game. Because we told you at the outset, this is the second consecutive Mother's Day that the Nationals and the Marlins have played. And it was the exact same pitching matchup. Anibal Sanchez and Livan Hernandez. And late in the ball game, Josh Willingham hit a homer. I think it was the 8th inning. And that was the deciding blow.
Hammer has had 3 pink bat home runs.
Where did you find that stat?
Scott Hopkins, who sits to my right, and is, maybe the leader of the crack staff, along with Ken Lee, comes up with just some tremendous numbers.
That has to make Mrs. Hammer quite proud.
Yes, and Hammer's mom used to see his parents around the games a lot. Out in Oakland now, Josh Willingham playing for the Athletics.
We'll get a chance to see him. Marlins will be in Oakland in the end of June.
There's a pregame show in the making right there. Possibly an Inside the Marlins.
Hammer and his pink bat. 2-2 to Espinosa. That's pulled foul. Eight strikeouts, a hit batter, an error by Omar Infante, and a 2-0 lead right now for Anibal Sanchez.
And the best, Rich, that the crack staff has come up with on Joe Borchard. I did some research myself, but We can't find him playing anywhere this year in the minor leagues or with a particular organization, but he did play winter ball in Puerto Rico this past winter. Or the Gigantes de Carolina.
9 strikeouts for Anibal Sanchez through only 5 innings. For a look at the upcoming Marlins schedule, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Phillies in town, and a tremendous opportunity to come to the ballpark. Javier Vasquez gets the start tomorrow. Roy Halladay, Josh Johnson matchup on Tuesday is a marquee event. Cliff Lee against Ricky Nolasco isn't bad either on Wednesday. And as we look forward to the upcoming schedule, we can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color.
And you know what, Rich, on that Tuesday matchup, we know there are going to be some Philly fans here. There are always a lot of Philly fans come out for their ball club when they come into town. How about some Marlin fans to root on Josh Johnson? That is going to be a fantastic matchup, JJ and Roy Halladay.
Infante takes up and in. Phillies have Joe Blanton listed as starting tomorrow against Javier Vasquez.
We're sure if we would see Joe Blanton or maybe Vance Worley. Blanton's been on the DL.
Infante pulls it foul. Omar Infante bounced into a fielder's choice back in the second. Looked like he had a base hit as well. It was a sprawling stop by Adam LaRoche at first base. 2-0 Marlins. Greg Dobbs has knocked in both runs. Both times it's been a Gabby Sanchez double that has set up the opportunity. And Infante waits on that big lollipop curve and knocks it into left field for a base hit.
That's one he hit bad enough that it dropped. He hit it off the end of the bat and it dropped in front of Morris in left field.
This season you can take advantage of the new Marlins single game suite rentals. Your own suite for a night. Enjoy padded premium seats, flat screen TVs, air conditioning, access to club level amenities. It's the perfect choice for an upscale client or employee entertainment. Or if you want to bring mom out and reward her for Mother's Day, get the whole family in the suite. 305-626-SAVE or go to marlins.com. Sanchez trying to bunt. It's foul.
By the way, Rich, I really enjoyed, and I hope our fans did, the other night on Spanish Heritage Night, Friday night, when we got a chance to chat with Anibal Sanchez. He had the microphone, the headsets on down in the bullpen. I think we saw a different side of him. We heard about how he was going to certainly hydrate a lot before this start today, this afternoon game. I really enjoyed that.
He's a guy that has a very good sense of humor and doesn't get a lot of airplay. Drops it down. Hernandez thought about 2. Knows he has time to get 1 and gets it. But Sanchez is an engaging guy. I liked when we asked him what other sports did he play. He said, I played basketball. Michael Jordan was a hero of mine. Played some volleyball, played soccer, and then ping pong.
You're going to have to get him over to your house on your new table.
That's right. Maybe he's Forrest Gump-like. Bonifacio 1 for 2. Now you've got Infante out at second base. I think facing Livan Hernandez is a supreme test for the progress Bonifacio has made this year.
You had a great talk and conversation with Jim Riggleman about Bonifacio, because they certainly know Bonifacio as well as anybody. He used to be with them.
And the scouting report, Riggleman said, used to be you could throw him a high fastball and get him out. He would swing at it no matter what. And all of a sudden, that has stopped. And Riggleman made the comparison when he was managing Sammy Sosa. And Sosa used to swing at everything and still hit 30 homers a year. The one's fouled back. Riggleman said he came to spring training one year and started the season. All of a sudden, Sosa stopped swinging at the bad pitches. And Riggleman told me there was a collective gasp that went through the National League like, uh-oh. And that's when Sammy started to put up the obscene number.
Yeah, uh-oh, Sammy's starting to figure it out. And, of course, Bonnie's put in a lot of work with John Maley.
2-2. Look at that. I know he's not up to Major League average, but that's a lot higher now than he used to be. Fouls it back to the screen. He's finding himself in more 2-0 counts, more 2-1 counts as well.
A lot of that is confidence. Hitters that don't have confidence want to hit early because they don't feel good with 2 strikes. And you see the really good hitters, they don't want to get to 2 strikes all the time, but when they get there, they still feel okay.
On base percentage now is .392. There's Infante. He singled. Sanchez moved him up with a sacrifice bunt. And Livan got him on a fastball. So Bonifacio goes down. Here comes Coghlan.
Made some good pitches. Had that fastball moving away a little bit. I was just thinking next year, not sure the schedule though, because I don't know if the Marlins would be home on Mother's Day, but what a nice treat that would be. Mother's Day, new ballpark, be sitting in a nice, comfortable atmosphere.
One of the amenities of the new ballpark that I am most looking forward to is the swimming pool party area in left field.
Plan on going down there?
Yeah, I think we should do a game from there. In a flotation device. They might have trouble with the electronics at that point, but Coghlan bounced out in the third. That was part of a hit and run, and it did move the runner to second. And then he lined out back in the first. Let's see what he gets, 2-0.
And remember, Chris came into this game 7 for 12. He's 7 for 14 now against Livan Hernandez.
Hanley is on deck. 3-0 pitch. It's out, and Coghlan's aboard. So this is a rematch of sorts between Levon and Hanley. Remember the last at bat, Hanley hit one out, but just foul, and then hit a laser beam to short that Desmond turned into an inning-ending double play.
And Hanley with 3 career home runs against Levon Hernandez.
Got good wheels out there. If Hanley were to bang one in the gap, it might mean 2 runs.
You know, we've talked about it. Edwin's tossed it around, moving Hanley in the batting order. I think it's more feasible once Logan Morrison gets back. But as Edwin has said, there just aren't a lot of options.
Hanley into right center field. It's gonna fall.
He got a bleeder. He got a bleeder.
And Infante scores. The throw goes all the way to the plate. It's 3-0. Justice is served.
Oh, what a good feeling for Hanley. Didn't hit that one near as hard as the line drive double play out or the near missed home run. A little bit on the end of the bat, but dumps it into shallow center. Bernardina can't get there. A run scores. Justice is served. Good approach.
Nationals bullpen is busy. Jim Riggleman on his way out to talk to Levon Hernandez.
The one comparison,
and Hanley is hurt.
One comparison is the Red Sox, let's say, with Carl Crawford off to a horrific start. But the Red Sox have a lot of options as far as batting order. So hopefully after that, Hanley's okay. It's the last thing you want to see.
Now the Marlins have to make a quick decision here as to whether he is okay. Everyone's looking into the dugout, and Hanley's sitting on the bench. He is going to run, but obviously in some distress.
See, in the case of Crawford, they were able to drop him down, lower in the lineup, because you have an Ellsbury, a Pedroia, guys that can fill in. But Edwin just said my options aren't that good.
2 doubles for Gabby. Pitch is outside. Let's see if we see something on the swing from Hanley.
Looks okay there. Because you would expect to see some kind of wince. Didn't see it.
At the corners, Coughlin at third, Hanley at first. Gabby fouls it back, and it's 1-1.
I was thinking the other night about Gabby Sanchez now in his sophomore season. I want to compare him with a couple of the other guys, 3 of the other guys. Buster Posey, Rookie of the Year. Not batting averages down, not off to a great start. Jason Hayward has some home runs. Gabby and Ike Davis, both over 300. But certainly holding his own for a guy who a lot of people, I think, forgot about last year in that Rookie of the Year race. He finished 4th, but holding his own now in his sophomore season.
Gabby now with 8 doubles. Todd Coffey is up. Inside. 2-1. That's a strike. 2-2 of those 4 players you just saw, Sanchez on base percentage, the highest. Coughlin walked. When he knocked in Infante with his single.
Gabby's played in every game.
I think he's played in every inning of every game.
Yes.
"17 walks, 18 strikeouts for Gabby. An on-base percentage of close to 400. Two and two. Hanley was on the move, and it's foul back.
That's a good sign that Hanley was running and on the move. And he didn't appear to be limping or gimping, so hopefully he's fine.
Another 2-2 pitch coming as Gabby won't give in to Livan Hernandez. Hanley running again. Pudge has no shot. Hanley swipes his 7th base. Allison Williams is down at field level. Allison, what have you seen?
Well, as soon as Hanley reached first base, you could see him stretching his shoulder a bit, and he pointed to it right when he got there to first base coach Perry Hill. And then even when he was jogging after he ran to second there, you could see he wasn't swinging his left shoulder as much as his right. So he does seem to be favoring it a little bit, but as soon as he got to first, he was stretching and pointing to it.
But he's at second base now. You got Coughlin at third. Pudge out talking to Livan.
Well, here's the conversation. They have had trouble, obviously, with Gabby Sanchez. Gabby's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. He has not had trouble retiring Mike Stanton, who's on deck. First base is open. You got to feel right here that Livan's going to try to make a perfect pitch, and if he walks Gabby Sanchez, no problem. He'll go after Mike Stanton.
3-2 to Gabby. Fastball crushed. Left field deep. That ball's gone. 3-run shot. Have a day, Gabby Sanchez.
Let's revise the list, the sophomores. Well, he was ready. He has been on Livan Hernandez all day, and Livan did not make that perfect pitch. He gave Gabby a fastball to hit, and it was right down central. There's the fastball. There's the swing. Home run number 5. RBIs 18, 19, and 20.
Stanton takes outside. I don't think that's what Pudge suggested to Livan Hernandez. I don't think that's the location they wanted.
You know, I think it just goes to show you're a veteran. You've been around as long as these two guys, and you still make a mistake.
Marlins have cracked this one open. It is 6-0. 2-0 pitch to Stanton. Meanwhile, this has to be a tough game for a guy like Anibal Sanchez to stay in rhythm and stay in flow, because Livan has worked such long innings when Sanchez been in the dugout. Stanton pulls that one. It's a fair ball. And the flip to first is in time. Hairston makes the play. Gabby Sanchez, a couple doubles, has scored 3 runs. And oh yeah, a 3-run homer on Mother's Day.
Mother's Day to all the moms that are here today watching us, and especially to my mom and my mother-in-law. Thanks for everything you guys done, and love you guys.
Now, Gabby's a smart guy. He gets mom and the mother-in-law.
That's a classy move right there, Gabby.
6-0. Anibal Sanchez returns. Hanley Ramirez is out there despite having some discomfort in that left shoulder. And Sanchez continues to pour in strikes. Alex Cora, a pinch-hitting appearance in the 9 spot. Then up to the top of the order for the Washington Nationals, Roger Bernardina and Ian Desmond. Breaking ball misses.
You're right about Anibal Sanchez trying to maintain his rhythm. It is not easy when your club, it's good that your club scores, you like that, but the inning's a little longer on the other half, so it's a little tougher to keep that rhythm, but so far so good.
He has matched his career high in strikeouts with 9. And he accomplished that on that April 22nd start, the one-hitter against the Rockies.
And he's nearing, because of all the strikeouts, he's nearing 90 pitches, 88 pitches right now. Which, unless he puts together some really fast innings, is going to prevent him from going a complete game. He talked about all those innings and all those starts of the guys you mentioned with Wakefield and Levon and Javier Vasquez. They're also atop the list of most home runs allowed. Wakefield first, Javi Vasquez second, Levon third.
Little looper left field. Bonifacio is there.
Great alignment. Great place to play Alex Cora. He's not going to drive the ball a long way there. And Bonifacio was shallow, shaded toward the line. He was in the right spot. First hits this ball, you think maybe it's going to drop. Look where Bonnie is. Perfect place.
Bernardine in the leadoff spot. Takes a strike. Joe Espada in charge of the outfield.
It's always one of those, coaches are such unsung heroes. They get into focus when things go wrong. But a lot of times when they make those good moves, you don't hear too much about it. So good job, Joe. On the other hand, Bernardina, a little more power than Alex Cora. So Bonifacio about straight away, maybe shading a little toward the line, but a little deeper than he was for Cora.
1-2. Nasty. A career high 10 strikeouts for Anibal Sanchez.
Yeah, he's got the breaking ball, the fastball's been moving, but look at that slider. Just buries that pitch in a spot where most left-handers aren't going to hit it.
Ian Desmond has struck out twice. Slider, strike one. Desmond, the national shortstop, backs off a fastball.
It's been, Rich, a few days of some tremendous pitching. Had the no-hitter yesterday of Justin Verlander. Yovani Gallardo went 8 perfect innings.
Let's see if Stanton can get this one. Mike on the move, reaches, has it, and holds on. 6 outstanding innings from Anibal Sanchez.
Don't go away.
And the Marlins lead the Nationals on Mother's Day
Marlins Baseball está disponible en español vía Zap y es presentado por KFC. Bueno, los Marlins disfrutando ventaja de 6 carreras, 6-0 ante los Nacionales.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's up?
Cookie and Raul join us now.
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon.
Muy buenas tardes.
Hey, what about the afternoon Gabby's having against Levon, huh?
Yeah.
It's a good day to be named Sanchez.
Yes, absolutely.
We were just talking about Gabby was about 14 when Levon helped win the World Series in '97, so I'm sure he's really enjoying today's afternoon
And
game.
Gabby, of course, a Marlins fan, too, growing up as a kid.
For sure. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
it's bittersweet, I guess, huh? But more sweet than bitter.
Absolutely.
And it looks like the Fish have finally figured out Levon Hernandez, who had a nice run of success against him. Todd Coffey comes in. Guys, have a good show. Happy Mother's Day to everyone over there, too.
Likewise,
guys.
you too.
Thank you.
Greg Dobbs, who has a starring role in this ball game, RBI double in the second, RBI single in the fourth, and he's the first to face Todd Coffey.
Look at that, a 4-for-6 series. Greg Dobbs is 5 for his last 9.
Sends that one the other way and out of play. A ball and a strike. Dobbs, John Buck, Omar Infante here in the 6th. Coffey has been plagued by nosebleeds as of late.
You would think the sea level altitude and humidity would help that here.
He's a big lad.
Yeah, he's got a good fastball. He cuts it, uses a splitter and a slider.
Ball and 2 strikes on Greg Dobbs. If you're just happening by, you might want to stick around. The Marlins have a 6-0 lead. Anibal Sanchez has been spectacular. A career high for Sanchez with 10 strikeouts. Two Dobbs again. Left field. Sweet stroke.
Tell you what, it's amazing, and I think the 1 day off has done a world of good. He played a lot. It's really been a while since he has played as many games in a row that he did. Well, last night, Gorslani, the left-hander, Wes Helms was in the lineup, and Greg Dobbs got the day off. So it seems to have really worked out well, and he's responded.
Now John Buck. Buck an 0 for 1 day, bounced into a double play his last time up. LaRoche. And there's an out here in the bottom of the 6th. Omar Infante now 1 for 2. Mets and Dodgers are in the 6th inning up in New York. The Dodgers have a 2-1 lead in that one. Told you the Braves and the Phillies play later on tonight. Here the Marlins and the Nationals finishing off a 3-game series. Nationals winning the first 2. And that's certainly a rarity. The Marlins coming into this series had won 12 of their last 14 against the Nationals.
And just for the second time this year, the Marlins losing a series to a ball club.
Infante turns on one, but a good response here on a Sunday to finish off the series. The Marlins have jumped to a 6-0 lead. They've knocked Levon Hernandez out of the game. Big days from Gabby Sanchez and Greg Dobbs, both with 3 hits. Gabby has 3 RBIs, Dobbs with 2. Coffey deflected it, and Infante's going to get himself a hit. Coffey gets dirty as he rolls around trying to pick that one off the infield.
Boy, that is one of those. It's a reaction play, and a pitcher really can't help it. And boy, you wonder if he's okay. If the ball goes by him, if he lets the ball go by, look at the second baseman, Espinosa. It's a sure double play. But by deflecting it, it's an infield base hit, and Coffey appears to have possibly injured himself. Big guy moving over, gets down to barehanded, but he never had a play.
I don't think he's used to contorting himself in that type of design. He's one of those prototypical big boy relievers that come in with a lot of heft, and
I don't think during PFP he's worked on this. Pitcher's fielding practice. I think he's okay. A good effort, but it clearly is one of those plays, and you see it happen so often. A pitcher will deflect it when in fact the ball was actually going right to the second baseman.
almost looked like his legs buckled under the strain of that weight. He's listed at 6'4", 240. A reminder that it's almost here. You can feel the buzz, the adrenaline, the energy. The new Marlins ballpark, a state-of-the-art venue unlike any other, with a retractable roof for air-conditioned comfort, all overlooking downtown Miami. New Marlins ballpark opening next spring. Catch the excitement. Call 1-877-411-2012 or go to Marlins.com. Here now is Sanchez, whose pitching line in this one only has a couple of blemishes on it. A hit batter, and the other wasn't his. It was the error by Omar Infante. Sanchez swings and misses. That's it for the Nationals today in their 6 innings against Sanchez. With 1 out, Sanchez was swinging away. Joe Espada down to chat with him. No walks and 10 strikeouts for Sanchez. Trying to bunt, and he misses it. It's 0-2.
See, Coach gives signs. One of the keys for those on the other side trying to pick up signs, the first thing you have to try to figure out is what is the indicator. Indicator meaning what is touched first just before the sign is given. Could be the cap, could be the letters, could be the elbow.
Good bunt. No one's at third. Coffey's throw is to first.
Good job by Sanchi to help himself. Drop down a nice bunt.
Here's Bonifacio now, as the Marlins try to add on to this 6-0 lead. All of Bonifacio's at-bats, of course, against Livan Hernandez, 1 for 3. Oh, and 1. Different look with Coffey, who runs it up there in the mid-90s, as opposed to Livan, who kind of lives with his fastball in the mid-80s.
Yeah, Coffey's been around. He spent some time with Cincinnati, Milwaukee. veteran.
Kind of got that Bob Wickman build out there.
Well, if he has the same type of career that Bob Wickman had, he'll be very pleased. Wiki lasted quite a while.
One coming. And it's 2-1. Marlins and Phillies tomorrow night. Joe Blanton coming off the DL. Javier Vasquez makes the start for the Fish. Tuesday night is the marquee matchup of Roy Halladay and Josh Johnson.
And Wednesday's not a bad matchup either.
No, Ricky Nolasco and Cliff Lee. Coffey spins one up there to get a strike. Bonifacio thought it was up, and the count's 2-2.
That's okay, because that's a pitch that he's worked on to stay away from.
Struck him out. Bonifacio not happy. Coffey finishes the 6th. On to the 7th. 6-0 Marlins. Anibal Sanchez goes into the 7th now. You see the score, and there's his line. 97 pitches, a hit batter and an error, and that's it. 10 strikeouts is a career high. And he gets Lance Nix, Adam LaRoche, and Michael Morse. Nix calls time as Sanchez starts his windup. I watched Sanchez warm up before this inning. He threw every pitch at about 3/4 speed, if that.
Trying to conserve some energy, maybe get a few more pitches.
Changeup misses in. 2-0. Nix hit the soft ground ball that Infante booted back in the 1st. Omar Infante's first error of the season. Strike. 2-1. Line into right field. Stanton dives. Oh, and it pops out of his glove. And that's the first hit of the ball game. So Anibal Sanchez, who threw a one-hitter against the Rockies, a nice ovation here, gives up a hit in the top of the 7th.
It's tough because this ball was hit hard. Did Mike get there? Very close. It looked like he got there, and it comes out of the webbing of his glove. He had that ball caught, and then it came out of the webbing of the glove.
So Nick's a single. Here's LaRoche. You just knew, and you can see Stanton upset with himself. You just knew this would be a special day watching Sanchez pitch in the first 2 innings. 5 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. LaRoche behind in the count 0-2. Twice he's bounced out to the right side. Looking for win number 2. One of the things about Sanchez that really stands out. Did he go? Yes, he did. That's 11. A career high continues for Sanchez.
No, Ricky struck out 11 Nationals the other night. He has had that working. That's that pitch. He gets ahead to a left-hander. You can't pick it up right away. You don't know it's going to dive down and out of the zone. He's had that working all day.
Michael Morse now. You look at Anibal Sanchez's career numbers, and his record doesn't jump out at, geez, 32-30. But his ERA does, because most pitchers who are right around 500 pitchers, their earned run averages are in the mid-4s, maybe
well
upper
over 4. Yeah.
Sanchez, a 3.76 ERA coming into this ball game, and that's in 87 career starts.
I think the frustrating thing that we see in Anibal Sanchez is that he has trouble with that consistency, start after start. We can tell early on. Ryan Webb gets loose. We can tell early on when he's on his game, and you could tell today in the first inning or 2. But when he goes out there and has trouble throwing strikes and labors in those early innings, that's going to be a tough day.
You're right, talking about the 2 no-hitters already in 2011. Francisco Liriano, Justin Verlander. So Giovanni Gallardo took one into the 9th. Daniel Descalso broke it up. The Brewers beating the Cardinals. That came a few days ago. And here, Anibal Sanchez carries one into the 7th. Lance Nix has broken it up. And a little line drive into right field, hit number 2 in the inning and in the game. It'll bring Jerry Hairston up.
Well, a little squib off the end of the bat by Morse.
And at this pitch count, 108 pitches. Should Sanchez get through this inning and the Marlins still be up 6-0, pretty good chance that this is his last inning.
Yeah, real good chance. The most he's thrown this year in that complete game 1 hitter, he threw 123, but remember, he was limited his next outing, and he threw just 74 pitches in that game against the Dodgers.
Fastball fouled out of play. And the Marlins certainly are cautious with Sanchez because of his history. He's had a Tommy John surgery and the labrum surgery, the shoulder surgery, which is a tougher surgery to come back from than Tommy John.
More pitchers come back successfully from Tommy John surgery than shoulder surgery.
That shoulder surgery affected him for 2 seasons. To center, Coughlin going back, and Chris reaches up, makes the catch. Tagging at second is Nix. Good angle, good break by Coughlin, who continues to make that transition into center field. There is Pudge. J.M. Lexus gives us leaders of the game. All time, games caught. Pudge ahead of Fisk and Yogi Berra. JM Lexus, price made us #1. Click jmlexus.com to find out how. Third at bat for Pudge against Sanchez. Sanchez struck him out both times.
Talking about no-hitters and well-pitched games, it was Oakland's Dallas Braden who threw a no-hitter last Mother's Day.
Perfect game.
A perfect game, yeah.
That was against the Rays in Oakland. Sanchez is just pouring it in right now. It's 0-2. strikeouts, 112 pitches, 0-2 to Ivan Rodriguez. Nationals will head home. The Braves will be, actually they head to Atlanta to take on the Braves, and then the Marlins will be waiting for them next Friday night in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, they actually head to Atlanta to spend an off day in Atlanta. One of those crazy scheduling quirks. If you're the Nationals, you'd prefer to play Monday and then have Thursday off
at home
on your way home. They play a Thursday night game in Atlanta and then head home after that.
The Marlins will actually be in Washington, D.C. before the Nationals are in Washington, D.C.
We may be able to catch the last few innings of their game against the Braves.
Always a good listen. Bob Carpenter and his new partner, F.B. Santangelo. Two coming. Breaking ball, ground ball, and it's foul. Sanchez trying to finish off this hitter, finish off his outing, keep the shutout intact. At the corners with 2 outs. Fly ball right field. Stanton is over, and Mike makes the catch. The Nationals finally get a hit. Anibal Sanchez, an outstanding day. Marlins on top. Here's our game summary.
Nasty Sanchez. Sliders, fastballs, He's really buried some sliders this afternoon. A career-high 11 strikeouts in his 7 shutout innings. Got some help. A base hit by Gabby Sanchez, but then he's driven home by Greg Dobbs' double down the line. Gabby on base again. Dobbs again with a base hit off Livan Hernandez. Dobbs having a heck of a day. He has 3 hits, but how about the day for Gabby Sanchez? His 3rd time up in the 5th inning, he decides to take Livan Hernandez deep. A 3-run shot. Gabby now with 5 home runs and 20 RBIs. He leads the club in that department on the year. He's had a great afternoon.
And on Mother's Day, Billy's mom is here. Will take me out to the ball game in the 7th inning stretch. Do you realize? I mean, this is mind-boggling. It's May 8th. The Marlins have taken a no-hitter into the 7th inning 4 times already this year. Sanchez has done it twice. Remember, he threw the 1-hitter with a 9th inning hit against Colorado, and today. And Josh Johnson, who has taken no-hitters into the 8th, the 7th, the 6th, and the 5th.
Tell you what, there are a lot of fans out there that might not realize it, but baseball, other teams, especially the teams that play the Marlins, they realize it. There's Brian Broderick coming into work this bottom of the 7th inning. First time we've seen Broderick in this series. One of those guys they like to call a strike thrower. That's what Jim Riggleman needs. Lots of strikes right now. We've talked about their bullpen, but the main part of their bullpen that we've talked about has been Tyler Clippard, Drew Storen, and Sean Burnett.
That's the 18. And boy, were they good the first 2 games of this series. Chris Coughlin, Hanley Ramirez, and Gabby Sanchez. And there is a strike from Broderick. Coughlin laces one down the line. Chris around first, headed for second. Throw on the way. It's a good one. And Coughlin gets there. It popped off the glove of Espinoza. Strong throw from Morse in left field. But a little bit of a short hop left for Espinoza. 9th double for Coughlin.
Well, that's nice, and it feels good for Chris Coughlin. That takes care of an 0 for 16 he had going. You like to get those out of the way, and he hustles all the way and all the time. Forces the defense. You have that opportunity when you have a 6-0 lead. Yes, if the throw is caught, if it's right there, he's out. But you force it, you make them make a perfect play, and the throw skipped by the second baseman, and Coughlin in with the double.
Hanley Ramirez is 1 for 3. He's bounced out, lined into a double play, and blooped a single. That single did drive in a run. Hanley has 13 RBIs now. Ground ball in the hole. It's short. The throw to first. Out.
Incredible.
Alex Cora.
Incredible.
Who was on his knees, and rather than straighten up and heave it, just flipped it to first.
If you're Hanley, you can only shake your head, tip your cap to Alex Cora. Had no chance to get up. Just flips it over there. And on one hop to a sure-handed first baseman, Adam LaRoche, he just gets Hanley Ramirez. Unbelievable.
Did you hear that, fan? It's always about the you. For Alex Cora. It's about the you for Gabby Sanchez.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Into right field. Good day to be a Sanchez. It's a good day to be a Hurricane, apparently. 4 for 4 is Gabby. Happy Mother's Day.
You know, you talk about this pitcher, and one of the things on the scouting report, a strike thrower. Well, the Marlins know that. They're jumping on first pitches. He's only thrown 4 pitches to 3 batters.
Stanton now. Broderick misses down low with a breaking ball. Brian Broderick, a Rule 5 draft pick. Grand Canyon University and Mesa Community College, an Arizona guy. Selected from the Cardinals organization. Stanton, a grounder. Cora has run out of magic tricks. And Mike Stanton has himself an RBI single.
Don't be too quick on the gun.
Oh.
See?
They're giving Alex Cora an error? You're kidding me.
Let me just laugh. Yeah, he bobbles it, but look at the degree of difficulty and look at what he's done out there. So an error charged to Alex Cora. For Gabby Sanchez, by the way, it's his second 4-hit game this year. He had one in St. Louis, and 4th time in his career he's had 4 hits in a game.
So should I change that in my scorebook, or should I leave it as a hit? You seem to be the go-to guy on these decisions. 7-0.
Right now, I would say you might have to change it
to error.
Yeah,
because I've got it as a hit.
Yeah.
All right. If he doesn't make the play on Hanley, does that change the scorer's mind on that play?
No, it shouldn't.
That's a similar play. It's almost like he got penalized for making the spectacular
Well, that's
play.
what happens. That's why the initial error was given to Infante the other night. He was being penalized for making a terrific play or attempting to make a terrific play.
Dobbs is 3 for 3, so he needs a hit to keep pace with Gabby Sanchez, who's 4 for 4.
Greg Dobbs has had 3 times he's had 4-hit games, but the last time was 2009.
Two and 1 to Greg Dobbs. Couple RBIs. And it's in. Do you think Gabby's going to want to give back the pink shoes?
Gabby's going to want to wear the pink shoes and use the pink bat.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
If not tomorrow, he could always keep it in the back of his locker. And if he needs a slump buster, break him out.
Break it out, yeah.
(3-1). Dobbs walks. So his day's still perfect. 3 for 3. Here comes Buck. Steve McCaddy is on his way out, the pitching coach of the Nationals. Talk to the Rule 5 draft pick. Broderick actually spent part of last year in Palm Beach, made 9 starts, and then went up to Double-A. He was 11-2 with a 2.77 ERA in 15 starts in Double-A, but the Cardinals did not protect him. So the Nationals have taken a bit of a gamble. They obviously, since he's a Rule 5 draft pick, have to keep him on their Major League roster throughout the season. If not, St. Louis can buy him back for half the Rule 5 price, which I think is still
$50,000, I believe.
And half of that $25,000.
And we talked about it the other night. The pitching coach up with the Palm Beach Cardinals is Dennis Martinez.
was the winningest active pitching coach in the Florida State League.
And those young pitchers better listen to him. I've always thought, Rich, I don't know if it could be done, but in the minor leagues across the country, especially the low minors, A, AA, tops, if you could have, you can't always do it, if you could have former major leaguers, successful guys who had nice careers in a city, a guy who happens to live in that city and wants to stay in the game, but doesn't want to coach and do all the traveling, across the country. But it's his hometown, it's his city, there's a minor league team there. I always thought it'd be great to have that former player be a coach on that team.
Especially modern day guys that are retiring, a lot of them who have made good money.
Good point.
Don't want to spend half the season on the road. Buck could not check his swing and strikes out. Certainly don't want to go back and ride the buses to some of the distant outposts in single A or even double A. You get some bus rides there as well. Don't want to be away from their family. They have their money and are comfortable, but
they still have the love of the game and a little taste for it.
And you want some of those guys, and that's, I think, one of the things that the Marlins have done a nice job of is keeping a Tony Perez and a Andre Dawson and a Jeff Conine around this team and around the organization. Those guys not only get to work with the players during spring training and during the regular season, but the Marlins will send that trio out to the minor leagues to see players, to talk to players as they come up.
Yeah, and I thought of that because I know Dennis Martinez makes his home in South Florida. So it's very convenient for him to stay in the game and coach up there with the Cardinals, the Palm Beach Cardinals.
Another guy that lives up there that has been able to stay in the game, Gary Carter, now coaching collegiately.
Had his Palm Beach Atlantic collegiate team out here the other night. I think for years, Jack Billingham, very successful Major League pitcher, was a Florida State League coach, I believe in Lakeland, up in that area because he made his home up there.
Two 1 pitches up. Broderick in his 10th appearance, and it's been somewhat of a rough start for him. His ERA is over 6. When you carry a Rule 5 draft pick in your bullpen, you really have to pick your spots for him.
I think it's easier to carry a Rule 5 pitcher in the bullpen than a player because they're not all going to be Dan Ugglas and play every day.
Struck him out. Good sharp breaking ball from Broderick as he gets both Buck and Infante. Onward, upward to the 8th. The Phillies are coming starting tomorrow night, and you can be part of it. All you got to do is take advantage of the Subway Monday and Miami Herald 2 for Tuesday ticket offer, 1-877-MARLINS, or go to Marlins.com. Marlins Baseball. Tuesday night, Josh Johnson, Roy Halladay back on the same mound in which Halladay beat Johnson with a perfect game last year. Wednesday's matchup is Cliff Lee against Ricky Nolasco.
I wonder if he's going to bring his own personalized pitching rubber that was given to him by Marlins owner Jeffrey Loria after that perfect game. He carries it on the team plane, has it installed before the game.
Ryan Webb now. He'll get 8-9-1 in the Nationals order. Alex Cora in that 9 spot. This is Espinoza, and Webb whips in a strike, and it's 0-1. Anibal Sanchez, 6 no-hit innings. His no-hitter broken up by Lance Nix on a line drive that popped out of the glove of a diving Mike Stanton in right field. Sanchez would give up another hit to Michael Morse in that 7th inning, but that's it. And Sanchez finishes after 7 with a career high 11 strikeouts.
Well, you think about it, even the 2 hits, the sinking liner that was in and out of Stanton's glove, and then the one that Morse picked up was a little bloop off the end of the bat.
.117 pitches for Anibal Sanchez. The strikeout's a career high. He didn't walk anybody. He hit a batter, and there was an error, Omar Infante. So Sanchez, for the 2nd time this year, flirts with a no-hitter. Solid line drive to left. Bonifacio has to back up and get it. Espinoza has a single. Our Toyota Trend. Nationals were trying to sweep the Marlins for the first time since 2005. Here's Alex Cora. I think Ryan Webb is still trying to find his role in the Marlins bullpen.
Yeah, I think what we've seen, he has good stuff. I think if you asked Edwin, he would say we're trying to find the right niche for Ryan Webb in the bullpen. Good fastball there that somehow just missed.
One of the things the Marlins would like to see him improve upon is inherited runners. He's allowed 6 of the 12 he's inherited to score, and that's the 5th highest mark in the National League.
The other thing that you would say is somewhat of a concern coming into this game, 15 1/3 innings. Good stuff. Good sinking fastball and sliders, but more hits than innings pitched, 18 hits. Batters hitting .310 against him.
3-0, that's a strike. Misses outside. You hear the crowd around home plate, but those pitches were out. You look at Fox Tracks. Fox Tracks gives you a strike zone.
Well, I
down
don't
to
know.
is less than an inch in terms of inside, outside, and also each batter is his own personalized strike zone from knee to what, just below the letters.
Somewhere in that area. We've seen a lot of high strikes called today. I don't know whether the crowd was disgruntled at Lance Barksdale, the home plate umpire, or Ryan Webb.
0-2 to Bernardina. Roger Bernardina with an opportunity, if he can play well here in the next couple of weeks, get himself back in the big leagues on a regular basis, where he was last year. Infante out there. Hanley will hold on to it. Bernardina runs exceptionally well.
Yeah, ball was kind of chopped, wasn't really hit sharp enough, and you know Hanley knows all that. You also know Hanley knows Alex Cora, and Alex came in with a good slide. Hanley just kind of danced out of the way.
See, when we get to Washington, I know there are some hockey fans out there. On Marlins Live, we should have a sit down with Matt Stairs and get a little bit of an overview of the Stanley Cup playoffs from Stairs.
That's a great idea.
Because I think Stairs
He's on top of it.
Yeah. He's a hockey coach.
Hey, Rich, I misled you. They have changed that. Mike Stanton. So I hope you didn't. I hope you kept it.
I kept it.
All right. They've given Mike Stanton the base hit in the 7th inning, so no E6 and an RBI for Mike.
It's all about the U with Alex Cora. Stairs swings and misses. It's 0-2. Webb can be devastating with that powerful arm with a good sinking motion. You see Choate and Sanchez in the bullpen. Choate will be a busy guy starting tomorrow night with the Phillies in town. Stairs fouls that one, first base side.
Yeah, you want to make sure your left-handers in the bullpen are in good shape when the Phillies come to town.
Webb runs it away at 96. Stairs at 43. I think the crowd is on Lance Barksdale. Because, and you see those pitches are still in. Because oftentimes when a catcher sets up on the corner and the pitch is just out, it doesn't appear as if the catcher moves his glove much.
He's been more apt to call the high strike than the one that's on the outer part.
Breaking ball, and Stairs went around.
I think Stairs was ready for another fastball, about 95. And Ryan Webb, with a terrific pitch, snaps off a beauty of a slider.
Here is Nix. Singled in the 7th. And that broke up Anibal Sanchez no-hitter. Nix is paid to hit, and he isn't walking. I don't care where the pitch is. He now has 62 at-bats this year and has not walked.
For the Nationals in this series, and if things hold up here, they will have taken the series 2 out of 3. The Nationals to this point have struck out 37 times.
And yet they've won
2 games.
2 games. Nix hits it to left and hits it well. Bonifacio back, makes the catch. Scoreless inning for Ryan Webb. It's still 7-0.
amazing mother, and to all your mothers out there, thank you for being you and making us who we are.
That was in the clubhouse before the ball game. This was moments ago coming off. Hi, Mom. Ryan Webb with a scoreless inning in the books. Nice work by him. I think that's the cancer survivor section.
All right, race for the cure.
DJ Petey in the middle of that.
Yeah, no DJ Petey. They got little Richard going. And the Nationals have a little Henry Rodriguez going here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
This was a Levon Hernandez start. The Marlins battered him for 6 runs in 5 innings. Brian Peterson will pinch hit. Then you've got Bonifacio and Coughlin coming up in the bottom of the 8th. So Peterson climbs in.
This guy can throw gas. Henry Rodriguez. You're not quite sure where it's going. But he starts that fastball usually about 95, 96, and then goes up from there.
Peterson's second at bat of the season, and he takes up.
Have no idea why Jim Riggleman flip-flopped Bernardina and Nix, but he has Nix in center field this inning, and Bernardina, who's a better center fielder, has moved over to right.
Well, maybe he wants, let's see. It's tough to read his mind. Maybe he wants to see if Nix can play center.
We know Bernardina can play all the outfield spots.
And Worth is getting the day off, and he's not budging from right field. You can follow us on Twitter. Sign up today at twitter.com/FS Marlins. Just took a peek on Twitter. We had a conversation off the air in between innings. We showed an Exmo side swing of Gabby Sanchez, and on the Foxmo, I made the comment to my producer, John Solster. I said, man, Gabby looks like a mini Albert Pujols on that swing. And lo and behold, on Twitter, Dre Body.
Look at the foundation.
Yeah.
That right there is Albert. Right there. That's a great analogy. Pujols uses that lower half so well, and that's exactly what Red Schoendienst, the Hall of Famer, told us in St. Louis about his description of, as he put it, your Marlins first baseman, Gabby Sanchez.
And Dre Body just tweeted, can you please put Gabby's home run Exmo view side by side with an Albert Pujols swing? It looked freakishly identical. And we'll work on it for you. He's in Jacksonville watching the game. And there's been a lot of tweets about Gabby wondering if he will come out tomorrow night against the Phillies in the pink shoes and the pink bat.
Gabby might not be that superstitious. Might not be a big deal to him. And the other thing, I don't know if they can.
I don't know.
To take that thought to the next area. I don't know if they can.
Bonifacio, a tapper, and he is out. Plus, players get a limited amount of those pink bats. I think you only get a couple, don't you?
Yeah, you don't get too many.
Here's Coughlin.
Now, a wonderful gesture would be for Gabby to give that pink bat of today to his mom.
Yeah, but if you're Gabby, here's what you do. If you've got a couple of those, you give one to mom and say, here's the bat I had 4 hits, including the 3-run homer. And then you give one to the mother-in-law, and you say, hey, here's the bat where I had 4 hits and a 3-run homer.
You got to dirty them both up.
Yeah, scuff them up. There's Peterson. He's in scoring position. And Rodriguez, as Tommy pointed out, throws hard. 97. 2-0. Phillies tomorrow night. Sounds like Joe Blanton will be ready to go. Javier Vasquez for the Fish. And then the Marlins run right smack dab into Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee. But they've got Josh Johnson and Ricky Nolasco lined up. That ball hit the shin guard of Lance Barksdale and bounced all the way back to the mound. We start things at 6:30 with Marlins Live. Any pitch that hits a umpire's shin guard is not going to be a called strike. I got news for you. Coughlin's aboard on a 4-pitch walk. Let's update our Tickets of America poll. Oh, this is just not right. Mother's Day, you should take Mom to a ball game, send Mom flowers, send Mom a box of candy, take Mom to dinner. For you,
B, C, and D. I mean, it's one of those. Good PA. Take Mom to a ball game, but flowers, you can't go wrong.
What's wrong with you people? Of course, last night Arlen Specter got a few votes for favorite Washington Senator. So Steve McCaddy out to talk to his reliever, Henry Rodriguez. Yeah, the Phillies and the Braves played at night. The Marlins came into this game, despite the 3-game losing streak, despite having dropped 5 of 6, with the second-best overall record in the National League. The Phillies, of course, right now have the best. They'll take that 22-10 mark into play tonight against the Atlanta Braves.
And as we told you, a good matchup tonight. Jared Jurgens, who's off to a 3-0 start. Remember, he started the year on the disabled list. And Cole Hamels 4-1. A good matchup in Philadelphia tonight. You know, look at the minor league numbers of Henry Rodriguez. About 350 innings in the minors. Well over 400 strikeouts. So a guy who obviously can throw hard. It's just a matter of channeling the control.
Hanley a 1-for-4 day. Hit the ball hard on a couple of occasions. Hit a home run that was foul. So I guess it wouldn't be a home run, a near home run. And then hit a bullet of a line drive at Ian Desmond, the shortstop, turned into a double play. Here's the 0-2.
Oh. Well, you get a guy out there has no idea where it's going. You're scuffling. You're trying to come out of a slump, and he buzzes a 95-mile-an-hour heater over your head.
That's not a lot of fun.
Just as he gets that foot down on Foxmo, there goes the fastball, mid-90s, over Hanley's head. Then he drops that on you.
Breaking ball, Hanley is out.
That at bat for Hanley, you can't even worry about. You can't file that one in the slumping area. As they say, that's just not right.
Here's Gabby now. And so far it has been all about the U today for Gabby Sanchez. 2 doubles, second, fourth inning, 3-run homer in the 5th, and a measly single in the 7th. So a 4-for-4 day. Sanchez pumped his average up to 328.
Yeah, he's up to 328. Dobbs is up to 359.
In the dirt, kicks away, going to score a run. Peterson with good speed comes across. a wild pitch. And the Marlins have their 8th run. All right. The tweeter asked for it. Actually, I was curious about it. And so here's a look. Gabby and Pujols. Expo side by side.
Wow.
Pujols has that one-hand release. Gabby is not quite a one-hand release guy.
No, he doesn't. That's the only where when it gets to that point, then you see the difference. But boy, up until that point, not a bad guy to be compared to.
Rodriguez misses low and inside.
Hanley going with the double look on the eye black and pink.
Wow. Well, who wants to hit?
Not a time to be digging in on Henry Rodriguez. Twice he's thrown fastballs over hitters' heads. I mean, a guy like that shouldn't be in the big leagues if he's that wild. I don't care how hard he throws. I mean, I know everybody loves the power.
Obviously, he's not throwing at guys.
No, he's not throwing at guys. He just can't throw strikes. Then he drops that breaking ball in. And can you blame Mike Stanton for flinching a little on that?
Two breaking balls, 2 strikes. Fastball away at 97. Does he come back with a breaking ball here?
It's the only pitch he's thrown with any consistency for a strike.
In the dirt. Pudge still working hard behind the plate. Two and two. Stan has driven in a run with that infield single. And that fastball, a 56-footer.
So here's the example. It's 3 and 2. You got a pretty good feeling he's going to throw that breaking ball.
Yeah.
But if you're Mike Stanton, you can't dig in and guess for that breaking ball because he may throw another one of those 97s at your head.
Well, Pudge wanted a fastball. 3-2 coming. He paints the outside corner at 96. Marlins get a run, add to it. 8-0. 8-0. Marlins on top of the Nationals in the ninth. Our Bank of America save of the game. Long way to go, and Mike Stanton makes the catch. He's used to that. The USC recruit is a wide receiver corner. Make the catch. You know the safety's coming up. You're going to get hit.
And he stayed in bounds.
On that skinny post. Burke Badenhop now with Adam LaRoche, Michael Morse, and Jerry Hairston. Hopper misses outside. Badenhop last night is returned to the big leagues with 2/3 of an inning. There's Brian Peterson in right field. You heard him last night on Marlins Live talk about the season that he had in New Orleans, and he was having a good year except for that one inning in Albuquerque. He said it's the worst outing of his career. 9 runs, 7 of them earned. I think he said he gave up 7 ground ball singles.
He said he wanted to make sure he kept the ball on the ground because the ball really travels in Albuquerque. He did. A lot of those ground balls found holes.
That's what Badenhop does with that sinker and the slider. Michael Morse now, who's 1 for 3. Marlins putting a finishing touch on a ball game that had everything that Edwin Rodriguez was looking for. Great starting pitching. Anibal Sanchez carried a no-hitter into the 7th. Good offense. It's been the Gabby Sanchez-Greg Dobbs show as far as that's concerned. Defensively, Marlins have had their moments. They do have an error, Omar Infante error back in the first inning. That's his first of the season.
You know, the previous 3 games, the last game in St. Louis and the first 2 games of this series, the Marlins had scored a combined 7 runs. And they put 8 up there today.
Morse into center field. 2 hits for the local guy. He still does not look good running right now. That right knee is sore. Morse out of Nova High School. Here's Hairston now. Mother's Day plans tonight for you?
I think I'll let my sons cook out for Mom, and I'll kind of sneak in for a bite. Put them to work a little bit tonight. How about you?
About the same, except I don't have sons, I have daughters.
So you let them cook.
Wow, they're very good cooks, actually. But I think I'm on the grill tonight. I did forget to invite the crack staff. Sorry about that. 0-1 pitch. Misses outside.
Well, the crack staff always has their own plans. But then again, they're also always open for a free meal, too.
Strike to Hairston. Just the fact that the Marlins have kept him 0 for 3 is a nice victory. 5 for 7 in the series coming into today. He struck out twice and flied out. Phillies here tomorrow night. Vasquez against Blanton. Outside corner. An 0 for 4 day for Jerry Hairston. Hopper gets a strikeout, and here comes Pudge.
Yeah, a guy who's been hot the first couple of games, and there's that little sinker that backs up, starts off the plate, backs up, catches the outside corner for the 3rd time. Hairston strikes out.
Morse not being held takes second, and so that would be defensive indifference. No stolen base. It's one of the things the Marlins wanted to make sure they eliminated in spring training this year. defensive indifference with all the drills that Perry Hill had on the mini field, that infield known as the Boneyard.
Marlins trying to nail down their third shutout this year, too. They had those back-to-back shutouts in that series against the Pirates.
Hopper just missed on that breaking ball. Now the 1-2. Change up and a bouncer to short. Hanley is around it, fires to first in time. Happy Mother's Day. The Marlins win it 8-0. No sweep for the Nationals, and the Fish improved their record to 20-13, second best record in the National League. Some finishing touches on this before we get to Marlins Live.